Hello folks, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are taking a look at a very popular electric scooter or e-scooter. It is of course the VMAX VX2 Pro, the GT trim. So let's go ahead and jump in. First things first, to those of you who are currently in the market, be aware that there was a price drop on this specific model here on the website. So you could take advantage of that if you are currently shopping for this. You can also use my discount code located in the description for additional savings off your purchase. So make sure that you do stick around for additional details on that particular discount. Now, with all of this being said, why don't we go ahead and start off from the beginning with the unboxing of this e-scooter here to see what the VX2 Pro GT in particular is all about. Not much needed in order to get this thing running. You have the scooter folded in the box, and one of the things that I was afraid of was that it would be in small pieces that I need to put together, but it was good to see that the whole thing was just one block. So you do get the scooter here, and then you get the manual, you get a custom tooling. As I mentioned, you don't necessarily need much to get this thing rolling. You don't need any additional tools, right? They give you everything you need in order to get this thing rolling. So you get this tooling here along with the VMAX commuting bag, and of course the power VMAX charger, you know, to charge your scooter. And finally, of course, let's not forget the very handy valve extension. Now with this very straightforward setup, you just kind of, I guess, stack things. It's kind of like Legos, right? You just have the handlebar that you need to attach to the stem there and just screw it in. It's ready to go. Just a few minutes and you are ready to ride your scooter. And by the way, I haven't mentioned a lot about the brand itself. This is actually a Swiss brand. They've been making this type of stuff for a while, so they're known for providing, you know, pretty good quality products. And the VX2 Pro GT here is definitely no exception. And a few last things I want to say about this particular part is that if you wanted to go ahead and order, you know, your scooter, you get free shipping. You also get a warranty for 24 months. So 24 months warranty, you do get local support, you know, any questions, things like that. So you're pretty much covered on all fronts. Now back to the scooter now. Once you have this thing set up and ready to go, you're pretty much looking at a UL certified and street legal scooter, right? That many reviews actually deem robust and reliable. If you go out there and you look at the literature, you know, things that were written about this particular one, you will see a lot of positive things. So it's supposed to be super reliable. And I still had to test it for myself and, you know, share it with you, right? I definitely feel it is well made and, you know, solid with some pretty good weight to it, kind of a hefty weight to it because it's not one of those cheaper ones, right? So it has some hefty weight to it, so you can feel that it's solid, robust, very well made here. You're looking at a solid, you know, 43 pounds, a little bit over 43 pounds. Now let's go ahead and just quickly brush over some of the, you know, tech specs here. This model specifically is the VX2 Pro GT, like I mentioned earlier. This is, you know, kind of the big boy of the line, or the big boy of the series out of the three in this particular line right here. It's also the one with the big battery. So it is powered by a 500-watt motor and it's paired with a 768 watt-hour battery, so a pretty large battery here. And with this, it does promise an unmatched power and range, which I was able to verify. In my testing, I'm going to say definitely over 30, closer to a 31, right? And of course, it's going to depend on how you ride. So you may not get 30, you may get 32 or 33 or 29, right? Depending on how you ride, your weight, right? All of that plays into, you know, how long this thing can go or what the range is supposed to be. Also keep in mind that the max weight here is 287. I'm about 225 pounds, you know, at 6'4". So I'm not a small dude, and I was still able to pull about 31 miles, you know, out of this in terms of the range, of course. But anyways, I digress. So the tech here is truly impressive. It also has this dual braking system that I really like, right? So it combines a drum brake, you know, for the front wheel, I should say, and a regenerative electric brake in the rear, right? So not only does it ensure that, you know, you do stop in a very smooth way, but it also charges your battery while doing so, which is pretty cool in my humble opinion. On top of that, it is IPX6 rated. So when it comes down to water resistance, you know, we're going to call that. So it is ready for whatever the city throws at it or whatever part of the world you are riding in. And like I said, that's just the specs, right? So the tech specs that you have on paper. Now I want to tell you more about what my personal user experience has been like. When I took it out for a test, you know, the first thing that struck me was just the acceleration. It's pretty smooth and, you know, it has a pretty nice and precise handling. Many of you are already familiar with some of these tires here. On this particular one, you have these big tubeless, you know, tires. They do offer incredible shock absorption, making even the bumpiest roads, you know, feel smooth. And to those who like a bit of a feedback on the road, let's say you want to really get a feel of what it is like to ride this thing, you can actually play, you know, with the pressure, right? You can make it so that it's smooth, or you can make it so that it's a little bit more rugged, so that when you ride, you can feel, you know, every bump. But either way, you can adjust this. Now, in terms of convenience, in my humble experience, it was pretty nice. Also, quick folding, as I mentioned, it's a quick folding design. It's truly a game changer. It made it easy for me to carry this thing, and I can picture those of you, you know, who are in the city or who are riding public transportation. This makes it easy for you to move around with your scooter, even in tight spaces, right? Now, in my case, when I was testing this thing, I actually put it in my car, and it's a small SUV, and it fits pretty nicely back there. You can actually add some more stuff, and it would be just fine. I don't anticipate that everyone has the same car as me, but you are able to, you know, manage this thing pretty well. Now, this particular trim here is quick, and when I say quick, it is really fast, right? In my testing, I was able to reach 24 miles per hour, and I've also achieved right about 31 miles, like I mentioned, in terms of full range. So very impressive stuff. And as I said, you know, the mechanics on this thing, pretty nice. Also, I talked about the brakes here, and it helps, I guess, manage, or it contributes to the, you know, to your electric scooters overall, you know, energy management, if I could put it that way. And it just makes it so that it can last longer. Now, let's talk additional features here. You do have some pretty bright lights here. The headlight is pretty bright, along with the rear brake lights, also pretty nice, coupled with the highly visible turn signals that you have on the back, very visible, especially at nighttime, right? So people who are driving or riding behind you can definitely see which way you're going, whether it's on the left or on the right. You have the signal on the left, and you also have it in the rear of the scooter telling people behind you where you're going. So safety is always a plus here. Now, beyond all of that, the ride, the technical specs, and all that good stuff, it's also nice to mention or highlight the fact that there is an app for that goes well, or that plays well with your scooter. Things work pretty well on it, and I would say it's actually pretty intuitive. You can tweak, you know, your settings, monitor your rides, and, you know, engage in that cruise control. The display is very bright too, very crystal clear. Letters are big on here, making sure that your stats are easily readable at a glance, so you don't have to stare at it all the time. You could glance at it because everything is big. You can easily tell where you are. You can easily read the information. So overall, whether you are exploring, or you're just commuting, or you're just looking for something fun, you know, like a fun ride and things like that, this is a very nice pickup. So you should definitely go ahead and keep this on your list if you happen to be in the market. Again, when it comes down to performance, safety, durability, you know, and with the price drop also, plus, like I mentioned, the discount code, it's pretty much unbeatable for this. If you want to go ahead and read up about this before making a decision, feel free to do so. You will find a ton of great reviews on this thing because it is just that good. But anyways, that's just my take on the VMAX VX2 Pro. As I mentioned, this is the GT trim. I'm certainly hoping that this was informative. Hopefully it helps your purchasing decision. Let me know with any questions, comments in the comment section. Like this video, share this video if you know anyone who would be interested. Also, make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'm going to catch you in the next video. Up until that next video, of course, as always, stay safe out there.